Wiley kids. It's me, Mrs. Boynton. I haven't seen any of you in such a long time. I miss you. I got such a nice surprise last week and I wanted to tell you about it. I got an email from Peyton Waltz and I thought, oh, how nice of Peyton to send me an email. It was an e-card. It was very thoughtful and nice. Then I went back to my email and there wasn't just an e-card from Peyton. There was tons and tons and tons of Wiley kids sending me e-cards, telling me to feel better and telling me that they appreciate me as a teacher, and it was such a nice surprise. So I just wanted to thank you to all of you who have sent me an e-card or sent me an email or sent me a gift, and I really appreciate it. It's nice that you're thinking of me. I wanted to let you know that I'm doing really well. My doctors are taking really good care of me and making sure I have all the medicines I need to stay as healthy as I can. And I hope to see you sometime soon. So I hope you're doing your very best that you can do at home, and hopefully we'll be all back together soon. In my next video, I'm gonna teach you how to make fancy letters like this. If you're interested in how to make fancy letters, you can watch. If not, that's okay, you don't have to. All right, bye-bye. Hi, Wiley kids. It's me, Mrs. Boynton. And today I want to teach you how to make fancy letters. They look really fancy, but they're actually pretty easy. So I'm going to take you through step by step on how to do this, okay? The first thing you need to know is that I've got letters in 3 categories. Here are the categories. Most of our letters have a long straight line somewhere in it, and it's important to know where that long straight line is because we're going to do something with it. And then we've got 4 letters that have long curved lines. And then we've got 4 tricky letters. So I'm going to teach you how to make each of these types of letters into a fancy letter. All right. Here's the alphabet and how it's going to look. Okay, to do this activity, you're going to want some paper and you're going to want something to write with. I'm using a Sharpie, and you can use a marker too because it's just practice. But if you're using marker, you want to put paper behind. I just have some scrap paper back here because you don't want to bleed through onto the table. Okay, so we're going to start with the long straight line letters. All of these letters follow the same rule. Okay, I'm going to start with the letter B. So the long straight line is the first line you draw. So I draw my long straight line, but instead of leaving it a long straight line, I'm going to turn it into a rectangle. Now I'm going to draw the rest of the B regular, just like I would a regular capital printing B. Okay, now if you look at the A, it's got 2 long straight lines. We're just going to turn one of the long straight lines into a rectangle. And it's at an angle, but it still becomes a rectangle. Then I finish the A with regular lines. All right, you can do this with any of these letters. You just pick a long straight line. I could do it with X. The long straight line, draw the long straight line, turn it into a rectangle, and then finish it with regular lines. Every single one of these works the same way. If I did an R, I'd do the long straight line, turn it into a rectangle, and then finish the R regular. And that's how you do any of these long straight line letters. Next, we're going to talk about these 4 letters. They have a long curved line. So instead of doing a rectangle, we're going to make like a crescent moon shape. So the first thing you do is you just make the letter, just regular. Then you're going to turn that curve into a crescent moon. So you start at the top and you make it kind of skinny, and then it gets wider and farther from the original letter, and then it curves with it and it ends up touching it again. And you have a moon shape. The G, same thing. Make the letter. Now turn that long curve into a crescent moon. O, O's are fun. You make the O, and then you can just keep going. Whee! And you make your crescent moon. You didn't even have to pick up your pen or pencil. And then there's the Q. You just make the Q, regular, and then you make your crescent moon. And those are the curved line letters. All right, now we're going to do the tricky letters. We're going to start with J and U. They have part straight line, part curved line. Okay, so you're going to make the J regular. And then it starts out as a rectangle. This long line here starts out as a rectangle, and then it turns into a crescent moon. So it's half rectangle, half crescent moon. Same with the letter U. Make your letter U, and then you're going to start with a rectangle and turn it into a crescent moon. Now there's the S. It doesn't have a long curved line. It has two short curved lines. So you make your S. Then you're going to make it a little crescent moon here and a little crescent moon here. It's two mini crescent moons for the S. And last is the Y. It doesn't have any long lines. It has three short lines. So we combine two short lines of the Y to make two little rectangles. One rectangle, two rectangles. And then we finish the Y. And those are the tricky letters. Okay, now if you want to make your letters even fancier, you can go to the fat part, the rectangle or the crescent moon, and you can color it in. Okay, you can color in the rectangle, or you can color in the moon. And that makes your letter even fancier. Now, if you want to get super duper fancy, there's something else you can do. You can get a Sharpie or a black pen, and where that rectangle or that crescent moon is, you can add a design. You could put in polka dots. You could put in zigzags. I could turn this one into zigzags and polka dots. You can do each letter with a different squiggly doodly type design. So you color it in, and then you can add your design. You could add squiggly line. So all sorts of things. Make each letter different. Here's some different designs I put in my name. Squiggly line, circles, just lines that follow the letter, triangles, arched lines, dots and dashes. This is my favorite, swirlies. Checkered, a skinny squiggly line, hearts. So there's all sorts of ways you can make your letters fancier and fancier. So this is the whole alphabet. I think making fancy letters is so much fun. If you want to make a poster, or if you want to send a card to someone, it's really fun to make the letters fancy, to show the person that you care about them or that you worked really hard on a project. Teachers love to see when you work really hard on something. So that's all from me, Mrs. Boynton. I hope you enjoyed making fancy letters with me. And if you do some, I would love for you to send a picture to your teacher or put it on your Google Classroom, and then I bet your teacher will share it with me because I can't wait to see what fancy letters you make. Bye-bye.